What if I told you that by 2030, you could train your own AI model without needing Google's servers, without Amazon's cloud, and without paying big tech a single dollar? That future, it's already being built right now. Look, we all know the game is rigged. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, they've got the money, the data centers, the GPU farms. And regular people like us, we're just renting their power, paying their prices, playing by their rules. But here's where it gets interesting. There's this movement happening, Decentralized AI, and it's about to flip the entire script. Today, I'm breaking down how blockchain and peer-to-peer networks are creating an AI revolution that could pull 20% of all AI workloads away from big tech in just 5 years. Stay with me, this gets wild. So first, let's talk about the problem. Training an AI model today? Insanely expensive. We're talking hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. Why? Because you need GPUs, lots of them. And where do you get those? Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure? You're basically locked in. They own the infrastructure, they set the prices, they can change the terms whenever they want. And here's the kicker. Most of those GPUs, they're sitting idle. Right now, there are gaming PCs, crypto mining rigs, and data centers all over the world with unused compute power just doing nothing. It's like having a fleet of Ferraris parked in your garage while you're paying Uber prices to get around town. Makes zero sense, right? But that's the centralized model. Wasteful, expensive, controlled by a handful of corporations. Now imagine if you could tap into all that unused power. Imagine if anyone, anywhere, could contribute their GPU and get paid for it. Imagine if training AI became peer-to-peer, like BitTorrent, but for machine learning. That's decentralized AI. Okay, so how does this actually work? Let me paint you a picture. You're an indie developer. You've got this brilliant idea for an AI tool. Maybe it's a language model. Maybe it's image generation. Doesn't matter. But you don't have $500,000 to rent Google's servers. Here's what you do instead. You go to a decentralized network. Think of it like Airbnb, but for computing power. People all over the world have listed their GPUs. Gamers, crypto miners, small data centers. You post your job. I need X amount of compute to train this model. The network matches you with available GPUs. Your training job gets split up and distributed across dozens, maybe hundreds of machines. They all work on different pieces simultaneously. When they're done, the results get verified on the blockchain, no tampering, no fake data, and then combined into your finished model. And here's the beautiful part. You pay in cryptocurrency, directly. No middleman, no corporate markup, just peer-to-peer transactions. The people who shared their GPUs, they get paid, automatically, in crypto, for every hour their machine worked on your project. It's essentially the gig economy for computing power. And early estimates suggest this could cut AI training costs by 50% or more. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool concept, but is anyone actually doing this? Yes, absolutely yes. There are already platforms launching this exact model. Networks where you can rent distributed GPU power. Communities where people are training open source models without touching AWS. I talked to one developer who trained a custom language model using GPUs scattered across 12 different countries. His total cost? A fraction of what Google would have charged. And it's not just individuals. Some startups are already moving their AI workloads off centralized clouds and onto these decentralized networks. Why? Lower costs, more control, and no risk of suddenly getting priced out by a cloud provider. But here's where it gets even crazier. These aren't just computation networks. They're communities. People contributing their GPUs aren't just making money, they're participating in an ecosystem. They're voting on governance decisions. They're helping shape which projects get priority. It's AI infrastructure, but democratized. And that changes everything. Because when the infrastructure is owned by the community instead of a corporation, the incentives shift. Instead of extracting maximum profit, the network optimizes for access, fairness, and innovation. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this matter beyond just saving money? Right now,
AI is becoming the most powerful technology on the planet. Whoever controls AI infrastructure controls the future. And right now, that's like 5 companies. They decide who gets access. They decide the prices. They decide the rules. And if they don't like what you're building, they can just shut you down. We've already seen this happen.
Developers getting banned from platforms. Startups having their API access revoked overnight. Research projects killed because they didn't align with corporate interests. Decentralized AI fixes that. When the network is peer-to-peer, there's no CEO who can flip a switch and turn you off. There's no terms of service that changes every 6 months. There's no surveillance, no data harvesting, no corporate agenda. You want to build something controversial? Go ahead. You want to fine-tune a model for a niche use case that Google doesn't care about? Do it. You want to experiment with techniques that don't maximize ad revenue? Nobody's stopping you. That's the power of decentralization. It's not just about cheaper compute, it's about freedom. It's about putting AI back in the hands of creators, researchers, and everyday people instead of keeping it locked behind corporate walls. So here's the big question. Can this actually challenge big tech? The projections say yes. According to emerging research, decentralized AI could capture 20% of AI workloads by 2030. That's not everything, but it's a massive chunk. And think about what that means. 20% of all AI training, all fine-tuning, all inference, happening outside of Amazon, Google, and Microsoft's control. That's billions of dollars in revenue that doesn't go to big tech. That's thousands of developers who aren't dependent on cloud giants. That's entire categories of innovation that can happen without asking permission. Now, will the big companies fight back? Oh, absolutely. They're not just going to hand over their monopoly. Expect lobbying. Expect regulatory pressure. Expect some dirty tactics. But here's the thing. Decentralization is resilient. You can't shut down a peer-to-peer network the way you can shut down a company. You can't sue a blockchain into oblivion. The tech is out there. The communities are forming. The momentum is building. And once people taste that freedom, once they realize they don't need big tech's permission to build AI, there's no going back. Look, I know this all sounds kind of futuristic, but it's not. It's happening now. Indie developers are already training models on decentralized networks. Communities are already earning crypto by sharing compute power. The infrastructure is being built, block by block, node by node. And by 2030, this could be the norm. AI that's open, accessible, and owned by everyone instead of controlled by a few corporations. That's a future worth getting excited about. So here's what I want you to do. If you're a developer, start exploring these platforms. If you've got a gaming PC sitting around, look into sharing your GPU power. If you're just someone who cares about the future of tech, spread the word. The revolution doesn't happen without us. Big tech built their empire on centralization. It's time we build something better. If this video got you hyped about decentralized AI, smash that subscribe button. I've got links in the description to networks and resources where you can dive deeper. Let's build the future together. I'll see you in the next one.